Hello, my name is Judah. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. My name is Prem Sagar. I'm from India.
Okay, wonderful. And how are you doing?
Yeah, it's good.
Your volume is a tiny bit low. I'm not sure if you could maybe speak up for me just a little bit.
Yeah, can I speak loudly?
Yes, if you could speak a little bit louder, that would be great.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Thank
So,
you.
my I'm from India. I'm living in southern part of India. My state is Karnataka. I'm living in a small city. It's called Bidar, and I'm working as a public officer, like tribal welfare officer. I have been working since almost 13 years as a public officer, and before that, from 2004 to 2010, I was a high school teacher.
Hmm. And what did you teach?
Yeah, I teach social.
Hmm. Like social
Yeah,
studies?
yeah, social studies like history, civics, and geography, economics, and environment.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so, what made you change from being a teacher to being a public officer?
Yeah, you know that teacher job is a very limited job. I can
Hmm.
I taught only within the means within limitation and in classroom. But it's a vast like I can serve more people and needy people in society. That's why I came to this job.
Hmm. Well, nice. And do you like your new job so far?
Yeah, definitely. I like this job because I'm serving for many people, those who are very backward and those who are not easily those in society. That's why I am serving those people that those people are very shy and they are marginalized. They are very backward in education, economy and social status. So it's very important for those people.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad. And so, how long has it been since you've changed jobs?
it means like I attempted for changing this job. Uh, I tried it for uh, 5 years.
For 5 years. Okay, wonderful. And so, why is it that you're learning English?
Yeah, you know that it's a good question that you know that English is a very means it's a normal language like it's a like international language that in every
Mm-hmm.
part of each and every part of the world that people know that only communication through English we can understand each other. That's why it's very good to learn English. That because of
Mm-hmm.
English, that you know that I am in India. You are almost in US. So uh, because of English, we are connecting. So it's a powerful language. It's a it's a good communication language.
Right. Uh-huh. And do you have any specific goals that you're trying to reach, or mostly just being able to communicate with people in English?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I am I'm very fond of reading, so I have been reading so many books even also that I read social reformers and and biography books and that who fight for social equality, fraternity, and yeah. So I read university like Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King. So those people, they are means whatever you
Mm-hmm.
achieved in you because of them you achieved means you achieved like equality, fraternity, all those that came. What you achieved for because of those people, those who fought on. So that's why in India also so many people, so many heroes are who achieved like what we have achieved means equality and fraternity in our country and it's achieved through Indian constitution so that he was a great person, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He wrote that our Indian constitution through that we got equality. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
equality, and a lot of power to all people, like women and marginalized people, that
Mm-hmm.
those who are like whatever they got all those powers. So it's because of constitution. So he was very genius, and mm, he gave lot of power to people. So it's very important. So that's why I read many books. What he wrote almost 22 books, and even
Wow.
yeah, government was published those books in all language throughout the India, like English, even in my mother tongue, and different language. So
Mm-hmm.
government is printing those books, and those books price is also very less, and it's very useful to all Indians. How we means what we achieved today. That roadmap. When we read those books, so it's like a roadmap.
Right.
Yeah.
And a big part of the history. What year was the first book written in?
Sorry.
What year was the first of his books written in?
Yeah, yeah. Means his books, those books are Hindi, means his writings and speeches. So from almost 22 volumes are there. So almost I read all those books in my mother tongue, and even in some books are in English, and all those, like I read these biography books. Different people, they have written the biography of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. All those books I read, because he like in your country, there is a color there. Not, I think now, but there was a color discrimination lot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so like country also there is a discrimination. Here it's a caste discrimination. In your country there is a discrimination, and in our country there is a caste discrimination. So all those means since 2005 500 years, some people means marginalized people, backward people, they are discriminated by caste, because once they born in the lower caste, they always uh, in lower caste. So because of
Right.
that caste, yeah.
Yeah, my dad actually worked in India for a couple of years and he noticed that. And he told us a little bit about that and that there was a huge, we definitely do have our social and different things, but that in India it was very much discrimination on caste and like what job you had. And the different job you had made you important or it made you very low in the like the social status.
Yeah. Because
Mhm.
whatever we have achieved here, like we achieved equality in politics, means in politics, but even we didn't achieve in economic and socially, we are not in means here we even still now also we could not achieving like total equality and
Mhm.
fraternity. In India, that first they ask your name, and then they ask your caste. What is your caste? Then only if they find,
Really?
yeah, if they find that definitely they similar caste or same caste they find, then only uh, they will talk you nicely. Otherwise, if you are a low caste person,
Mhm.
they could not talk you.
Wow. And how are the classes like what's the title? Do they have like is it how is it based? How is it ranked?
Like it's a hierarchy, like upper
Mhm.
caste, middle caste, and so many different castes are there in some, but in same means in same caste also there is hierarchy, like in caste system.
And
Okay,
is it defined by your job?
sorry.
Is the caste that you're in, is that defined by your job? Like
Ye-
what job that
Yeah,
you have?
yes, yes, yes. Earlier it was a like job, but earlier it was like job, but finally that they means uh, that working the same profession and it will become a caste system.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. And
But
is the
yeah,
mhm.
earlier that people were there like goldsmith and next it become like goldsmith. It's a one caste. Okay. And if I do like manual work, so
Mhm.
like scavenging all those things, so next it made one caste, make one caste. Okay.
Mhm.
So who are working with like manual work, scavenging work, and all those like whatever they doing means cleaning work. So
Mhm.
uh, podcast people they feel no, they felt like it's not good. So they couldn't trust to these people who are working manual work, manual scavenging, and all those things, all those work. So finally, these people like they are lower caste, and those who are working in a temple, like like what we call like clergy, yeah, those kind of people, they are like upper caste people, and
Wow.
who are, yeah, who are doing all those manual work, scavenging work, those people that they are untouchable, they can't touch means that higher caste people
Uh-huh.
they us to these people and discriminate to do these people like they bar from drinking water, public drinking water, public schools and public roads. So
Wow.
upper
And that's still happening to today, or this is more in the past?
yeah, it was in the past like before 1950, before 1947, but
Mhm.
you know that India is the most populated country and a lot of people, almost 70% of the people, they are living in the rural area, and rural area people they are very like it's a rural area means it's a village is itself is a one means it's a like globe, so they depend
Mhm.
uh, each other, they depend each other, and they know each other very personally. If
Right.
in yeah, in city we can't find what is your caste and all those things because it's a huge crowd here. So normally public greet each other and they don't want to discuss each other personally. But if you go
Mhm.
to this level, there is very population is very less, like some thousands, okay, 2000 populations is there. So they know well each other, so who is a upper caste person, who is a middle class person, and who is a low caste person. So because of that, whatever we achieve in rural area, if he achieved very well, he's a good the lower caste person. He is a good achieved person, or he's a well educated or wealthy person. May but that higher caste people that they remain in their perspective. These are low caste person. He is a low caste
Yeah.
person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some of that, of course, in the whole world. Like in the US, we have jobs, for example, like a lot of it is depending on pay, but a lot of it is desirable and undesirable jobs. So, for example, you could own a company of plumbing, so you clean toilets and things like that, and you could make a ton of money, but because the job sounds gross, people think that it's lower or that they don't like it. But a doctor is considered a very desirable job because it not only pays well, but people treat them well in return. So we don't
Yeah.
have a lot of that all the time, but definitely sometimes if you say your job and it sounds less desirable, people will be like, "Oh, that's not the best job." But definitely not horrible. And in some ways it's bad, but not as bad as like actually having casts which is horrible. That's really bad.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very bad that you know that that wherever Indians live in their country, if they are living anywhere in the world or even other planet, definitely they will do these caste systems.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's hard, but things have become a little bit more equal from nowadays. It's a little bit better.
yeah, definitely. It's very like quiet. It's very like it's not like that. But today we achieved a lot, and yeah, we are feeling happy because through Constitution we are getting the good here. So we are getting education, job,
Mhm.
everything. So in city, like in big cities, that there is no caste system. But so if you mingle with the people, that people again they ask that even their names, that upper caste name and different means their names also that notified he is from which caste, which
Mhm.
this name,
Like a person's last name.
yeah, last name, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, because it went back generations. So if you were born into a good family, then you were in the higher caste, and if you were born into a lower family or this, depending on their job, then you were considered of the lower caste.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm. Did you see that a lot when you were growing up as a child? A lot of people like still using the caste systems or things like that, or was that mostly gone as you grew up?
When I'm growing when I'm growing up, so that time I felt a lot of discrimination in my village, and even yeah, a lot of time me and my even now also that I'm every day I'm watching newspaper and Google, I'm surfing Google and all those. So maybe
Hmm.
somewhere here or
Hmm.
somewhere there, we will find those kind of news. Yeah, they are bought from means hot means that procession. Indian wedding system is very means it's very colorful. That in India, that bride and groom means the they ride the horse, and through procession they go to their house. So then entering the main village, far from those people, higher caste people, from low caste bride and groom. Then even
Okay,
now,
how the weddings were. Uh-huh.
yeah, because you people, what they told, they abuse to those people. You people, you are not means you are low caste people. How you ride those horse and all those. So even now also, and like me, I keep more stack. Okay, it's like more
Hmm.
stack. So sometime they abuse those people. Why you people? You are low caste people, so you can't keep more stack like that.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So even with the way that people looked, even that was, separated into to castes. How you could dress and how you could keep your facial hair and things like that.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
if you go to rural area, definitely you find that the area where those means the lower caste people they are living and upper caste people living, there is a definitely there is a like wall, not wall, but it's a
A
bifurcation is a line.
separation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
bifurcation. So that arch is there in villages. In village there is an arch. Inside the arch, that upper caste people they live there, and outside the arch, these means they are living there. So
Mhm.
don't go inside means in morning, sometime in evening, and they bar from
Mhm.
they bar so they barred enter to temple and public places and all those like some discrimination still
Mhm.
there. But now that everyone is means getting education now, so because of education they ask them, why you doing these type of discrimination? In constitution we are equal. If you do such kind of discrimination, we will do FIR, means we will do case in court. So that's why there is a protection to do to those people who are backward class people. So that's why
Mhm.
that government is making, already they are doing wonderful job and doing wonderful job and awareness. They are making awareness
Mhm.
in public places and all those areas. So it is
Right.
going down now. Okay. So
Yeah, but I mean, it still happens sometimes, and I'm sure people can be very rude as well, and that can be hard. Yeah. The funniest thing is, or saddest thing, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it, is throughout every culture, throughout every time period in the world, there's always been some sort of segregation between jobs and which jobs are considered good and which are considered not as good, and it's always been that manual labor has been considered less than other things, but those are the most important jobs. That if we didn't have those basic jobs, nothing would work. And yet somehow those got put into the bad category just because it uses your hands and you are stronger or your hands are rough and things like that. And so they got put into a bad category. Whereas, in a lot of cultures, they were the most talented people and the most skilled, but because the other people had money, they had no skill, they couldn't do anything, but they were considered better just because of money. And that makes me extremely sad. And I really hate that the world works that way. Because it's really dumb if you're like, okay, if you take away the money and you only have, okay, I can do this and you can do this, then those high people they wouldn't survive. They just couldn't because they had no skills.
yeah, definitely, you know that they are just they means they collect money and they put they rule those people. They rule the world like high
Mhm.
level. So collecting money, lot of money,
Right.
and purchase everything. So they have everything like they and they control the government also. You know that persons when
Mhm.
they control government and they control the policy, whatever they want, what kind of policy they want, they they will achieve through politicians. Okay. And if
Right.
you, yeah, if you give some kind of relaxation to these poor people, they will not tolerate. So
Mhm.
some little bit of what if the government is giving some relaxation, some kind of help to those poor people, they won't tolerate because they get more relaxation. Okay.
Mhm.
They for those people, for means those business person and those what they means that kind of persons, they literally they take a lot of free treatment from education, like even
Mhm.
they are getting land for opening companies and all those things,
Mhm.
and even they get free electricity, water,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, tax free, all those tax free means stuff
And they didn't
that
have to pay those, so they kept their money, but everyone else had to pay.
without they will not pay all those taxes. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's a huge money, and not like it's a small amount, but huge. They means they're getting like free tax. Yeah, things. So they
Mhm.
means discrimination and here huge. It was huge that only little bit of help to poor people they can't tolerate.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that still happens today. Even in the
Yeah,
US and any country, there are people who are hungry that need homes. And if people who had money would just be like, okay, here you go, let me help you, everything would be fine and it would be solved. But the people with money don't want to share it. So we continue to have poor people, and the people who have money but not very much understand how it feels to not have money. So they give their money when they can, but not enough because they don't have it. And yet, the people who have money never want to give it, never want to help. And that's the way the whole world is, and it is incredibly sad. And it's really messed up the way that we live because we don't want to help each other just because not getting anything back. We never want to give gifts to people without having anything left like given to us in return, you know?
yeah, you know that just 10% of the world. I take total world population that
Mhm.
10% of people who are richer, they had everything in their hand.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
they had everything in their hand, but remaining 90%, they are struggling, they are starving, they are hunger
Mhm.
people. So whole
Right.
life,
Exactly.
yeah, whole life they are struggling for food, water, and
Mhm.
shelter. Remaining 10% people, they die. What purpose? Because of undigestion of food.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they 90% people they are starving and hunger without food. They are means without food they are going to die. But 10% of people they are without digesting they are dying. So
Mhm.
it's a
And the sad part is, that 10% of people, they have enough money to take care of the other 90. They just don't.
yeah, yes,
Uh-huh, because
yes,
there's enough resources, there's enough space on the earth, there's enough food. So much food gets thrown away instead of
yeah,
the government doing a good job of being like, okay, well, this is where it will get allocated, this is where this extra food will go and feed people. They don't do that. They just throw it away.
yeah, yeah. But
Sad.
whatever, because people they want like income.
Mhm.
They want to generate income. So whatever they get income, they will means they collect it and put it one side. Okay,
Mhm.
but other people they will they always struggle for hunger, for poor, because they
Mhm.
eradicate means poverty. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a like what what Mark said it's who are having and not having they always struggle in between those people.
I'm sorry. Who said this? You said Mark.
Yeah, like Mark or who is like from he's from Russia.
Okay.
Mm, yeah, so it's
Mhm.
a totally struggle between who have everything and who have nothing.
Right. Uh huh. Yes.
A struggle.
Well,
Always it has been struggle since long
it
time.
the entirety of humanity has been that for sure, and that's what's sad is you see it again and again and again in history, and yet we haven't changed it, and it's still happening, and that's the worst part of it is that we haven't changed it. Yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Our
uh,
class is actually just about to end, but it was nice to meet and speak with you today.
yeah, definitely. And whatever any correction is there and how was my English, you can type me.
Uh-huh. So you speak very well. I would say
Yeah,
just vocabulary needs to be a focus. Working on your